must now march and assemble at the gates of the White House as drum majors for justice to underscore the urgent need for the president to decisively act on this issue. Accordingly, a dedicated network of social justice, drug policy, and criminal justice reform advocates will conduct a day of direct action on the occasion of June 17th, the occasion of the anniversary of the war on drugs, to call on President Obama to do the following things, among others. To intensify the efforts to eliminate the disparity between powdered and crack cocaine. And we must credit the administration for having made progress on this issue. It was once 100 to 1, it is now 18 to 1. But we want that gap closed completely. We want them to issue an executive order terminating the war on drugs. It was started by an executive order. We want him to terminate the war on drugs and replace it with a national initiative that treats drugs and drug addiction as a public health issue. We want to stop criminalizing people because of drug use and drug addiction. We want a different paradigm. An executive order ending the practice of using incarcerated persons as prison labor. It's like the new convict lease system all over again. We've been through this time and time and time again. We're arrested, we're incarcerated, and then we end up as prison labor to subsidize major U.S. multinational corporations. It is a kind of new slavery as a part of the new Jim Crow. Allocate more federal funds for drug education and counseling and treatment. Form a presidential commission to initiate a national dialogue on the regulation and taxation of drugs. There's an international commission that has suggested that the war on drugs is an abysmal failure, and that it's time to talk about regulating drugs as opposed to criminalizing drugs. Because much of the turf war, much of the death and destruction is the battling over drugs as an illicit economy in our respective neighborhoods. And last but not least, to mobilize the moral and political support for direct public sector jobs and sustainable economic development programs with a priority inclusion of formerly incarcerated persons targeted to transform distressed black communities. Problem is that our young brothers and sisters, mostly young men, go off to prison, they come back with a mark, and they cannot get jobs. And so this has to end. That's why we're prioritizing formerly incarcerated persons.